Shit, I'm the best thing on here. Shit, I am the shit.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the ball. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they cautious, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switched codes, but he codes with focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that could end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game and the gang will accost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athletes. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibe. I'm the kingpin. They know I'm a dog and a beast, man. Yeah, I keep the peace with a piece, man. I ain't got no time for a piece, man. Why would I respond to a pawn? I'm the... Hold up. If I let my dogs off the leash, they do my work to get out of Dodge while they eat. Honestly, think it's not the blood and the beef. If they don't leave anything behind after eating. I can see you soft, never thought about retreating. If you never have, then they'll give you a reason. Better watch your tone, lose your bass when you speaking. Underneath the mask is the wrath of a priest. When you learn how to smile in their face, then go cutthroat. Then they wanna call you a con when the blood cold. I remember starving while y'all had a truckload. Now I'm with the mob with the call and the gusto. I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athletes. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibe. I'm the kingpin.
Man, good afternoon, man. It's another beautiful Monday here in Louisville, Kentucky, man. I'm here chilling. Boy, I promise you, when it's so nice outside like it is, it's hard to be in here do these hour and a half, 2 hour shows. But I know it's a bigger purpose. It's in here having fun, giving back, talking about some good sports. So that's what it's all about. That is definitely what it's all about. Let me fix this phone real fast. Sorry about that disturbance. Definitely want to talk about sports, man, because there's lots going on. A lot of stuff is going on as far as the sports world. Definitely that. So definitely looking forward to talking about it, but not only talking about it, but man, hopefully we get some type of engagement today. So we'll see what other people think about what's been going on in the sports world. And so, you know, I know one of the biggest things right now is the NBA playoffs, right? I mean, that's the hot ticket going. You know, there's no more college sports right now that I'm really into. So that's not happening. But, you know, you got some horse racing things happening and priming to get started. So it'll be Derby time around here soon. Matter of fact, our first Derby event starts next Saturday, and that's the Thunder over Louisville. So it's a big firework extravaganza, and that's really the kickoff of the Derby. And so that'll be happening here, and Derby is like a 2-week event for us. So that'll be jumping off between all the festivals, all the celebration, all the parties, all the get-togethers, the cookouts, and to top it all off, the greatest 2 minutes of sports. And that's the actual Kentucky Derby, the horse races. So that's coming up pretty soon. It's coming up pretty soon. Looking forward to it. But until then, we got some other things we need to talk about, right? We definitely got some other things we need to talk about other than the greatest 2 minutes of sports, and that's that NBA playoff. So a lot of stuff's been happening, man. A lot of stuff. And excuse me, one of the things that's been happening, man, is just these injuries. Man, you had a lot of key players go down between Saturday and Sunday, man. And it could affect the playoff outcome. It definitely can affect the playoff outcome. So I know one of the things that happened was Tyler Harrell hurt his hand, so he's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. So that's already been determined. In pretty much in the same game, Giannis went out. Now I don't know if what's going on here, his status as of yet. I haven't heard anything. It could be day to day. So they play their game 2 on Wednesday, so he has a few days to get himself back together, right? So that's going to be interesting how that pans out. But you have John Morant, who hurt his hand. So who knows how that's going to affect him and for the rest of that series. Now, that game 2 happens on Wednesday the 19th. So he has a few days to get his hand together, get his body together, I guess, and whatever else is hurting. So, could that determine a different type of outcome? So, it's been quite a few dings and bruises, man, especially amongst the big players, the big stars. So we gonna see how that works out. I know I think Chris Paul was also dinged up in that game. But let's since we're talking about the games, let's really get into it. And one of the games I was really interested in is what's going on, big bro? One of the games I was really interested in was the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors. Now, I did make a friendly wager, nothing big, nothing big at all. Me and Tom B, I made a little $20 bet. He's a Golden State guy, and I like Sacramento in this series, so I said, just a small little wager, nothing's gonna break the bank. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get the man a box lunch or something. That's probably all that little $20 gonna do. Get the man a little box lunch while he's out on the road, doing God's work over the road truck driving. So that's all. But in the midst of seeing what happened in that game, with one of the Golden State's biggest fans, and Earl Stevens is his government name, but we all know and love him as E40. He was ejected. Now I don't know all the details of what really happened. You know what I'm saying? I don't know everything that went down with it, but I did see where he claimed he felt like it was a bias towards a man, and they was, they did him wrong. So that being said, man, that's my favorite rapper, or one of them. I mean, I got a couple, but he's one of my 5 favorite rappers. Not gonna get into that today, but we can one day. But he's one of my 5 favorite rappers, and when I seen it, I'm like, oh man, hold on, man. Sacramento King fans, they doing too much, man. Come on, man. Can't do it to Earl Stevens. Can't do that, man. Man, that man's a legend in the rap game. So, man, now I'm feeling like, man, I'm ready to just sacrifice my $20 and see Golden State win that series just because I seen that. So again, what I was saying and what I'm hearing, I hope it's not true, but that man experienced, he knows what it was. He felt like that's how he felt. So I'm just ride with that. But nonetheless, watching that game, man, it was back and forth. It was a great game. The game had ebb and flows in it. You know what I'm saying? There was a moment where Sacramento was up early. Then Golden State came back, had a little lead. But, towards the halftime, Golden State was still leading. But you see the momentum start to swing in Sacramento's way. And when it did. And they went on a run. So with that being said, man, it just shows how dangerous De'Aaron Fox is, man. This dude's underrated. He's really underrated. And I promise you, I bet the Lakers have to think about this every day, every night. They look down the street and they realize how big a mistake they made when they drafted Lonzo Ball over De'Aaron Fox. Was the kid local? Yes. Was he better? Hell no. He wasn't even better than in college. Wasn't even better than him in college. So, I know that's right, yeah. I know that's right. Yeah, he wasn't better than him in college. So now looking back, hindsight's 2020, but I don't understand what the Lakers were saying. I just don't understand, man. I don't. And as much drama as his dad brought, and unnecessary drama that he brought to the organization, I promise you, they wishing like, man, if we had a De'Aaron Fox right now, how far along we probably be. You know what I'm saying? A couple of them trades would have made. Well, let me say this: De'Aaron Fox would have been in that trade when they made that trade with the New Orleans Pelicans. That he would have been in the deal. You know what I'm saying? So he would have been at the Lakers, helping them win another championship. Easy would have helped him. He would have been that third guy that they looking for, and he would have made a hell of a difference. Now you got a guy that plays a point. LeBron doesn't have the ball in his hand as much as and he's able to rely on this young blood. So, like I said, hindsight's 2020. They're not benefiting because they made a mistake and they drafted the ball. So you got to live with it, right? You got to live with it. But nonetheless, he's down there in Sacramento balling out, and he got his former teammate down there with him, giving him a second chance. And man, I don't know about Minnesota, though, dog. Minnesota? Nobody wants to go to Minnesota unless you're forced to go there. But that's a different story. Man, they've been playing. And again, they got a couple former Kentucky players, man, like your boy Trey Lyles, another guy whose career's been resurrected thanks to Sacramento. Monk's down there balling out, doing what he needs to do, having his career pretty much resurrected. So they got a good thing going, and again, they got a hell of a coach in Mike Brown, right? Mike Brown's a good coach. I remember when he was with Golden State. I remember when he was assistant with San Antonio, who was head coach at Cleveland for a bit. And in my opinion, before Cleveland did him wrong by firing him. So now he's reaping the rewards, man. He's a great coach. He's doing his thing. And I want to see the brother succeed. I definitely want to see the brother succeed. So they got something going down there, man. They really do. Got a lot of younger players. They haven't been in the playoff in over 16 years, haven't won a playoff game in 17 until they won it the other day. But in the midst of all that, they got a unique thing going on down there, man, where they shoot a big old light in the sky. It reminds you, it's like you watching some Avengers movie and you just seen this light go flash in the sky. But it's nice. It's something different. It's something new. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else is doing this. So guess what? You bring your own uniqueness to the situation. I like that. And that makes it cool when you got stuff like that. You can really sell it to your fans because your fans involved with it. Everybody's involved with it. So that's one of the cool parts about what they got going on down there. So, had to get that water. I'm sorry. Excuse me. But yeah, I think that's really cool, man, that they got that going. And it's really unique. and it's something, like I said, the fans get into it and participate. So that's cool. I like that. So again, I still think it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to go 7. I think it's going to be over 6. I think it's going to be over 6. Now, unfortunately for Golden State, they got a bad reputation this season of losing a lot of road games. So that's what really they ain't even but play suit. I mean, now again, the next game I believe is on Wednesday. I think they play like about 10 o'clock. Is that game on Wednesday? Yeah. No. I'm sorry. Look like they play 10 o'clock today. I'm surprised by that because some guys that play, they're getting 2 to 3 days off. I don't understand the NBA schedule, but that's not for me to say. Yeah. That was a fun era, man. That was a fun era. Hey, let me say this. That Lakers and Sacramento Kings series, classic, man. Of course, I feel like they got robbed in that 2001 series, but I'm leaving it alone. I'm not a Lakers fan like that. But yeah, I think they got jobbed in that series, so I'm leaving it at that. Oh man, good evening. But I don't know. They play today at 10 o'clock, and I think if they could get a 2-0 lead going back to Golden State, man, that's gonna really help them. That's gonna really help them. But that's gonna have to be the key. How's Golden State gonna rebound from that? Because, like I said, in that game, they had a momentum going, man. They had it going. They was doing their thing, and I don't know what happened. They start losing. I don't know what happened, but nonetheless, man, it's part of it. So that's the series right there that I'm most interested in. Now, of course, I won't be watching too late in the game, so I will be getting the results in the morning because that game come on 10 o'clock at night. Yep, your boy gotta be at work early in the morning, so I can't afford to staying up too late, hanging out like that. There was a time when he could do that, go to about 2 in the morning, wake up at 5:30 and rock out. Can't rock like that no more. No, I can't. So, but I will be getting the results in the morning. So looking forward to seeing what the results going to be. Now, another one that goes off today is that New Jersey Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't see that as being much of a series, man, truth be told. I don't see it as being much of a series. I think I think they're gonna get swept. I think the Nets are gonna get swept. And yeah, I just think they're gonna get swept. It's not gonna be. I don't even think it's gonna be a series. I don't think they're gonna win one game. I don't think the Nets gonna be in one game, and I'll be surprised if they do. But I don't see it. I don't see them win not one game. So, it's not even worth talking about it. That's how bad I think it's gonna be. It's not even worth talking about. But this is sports, so you got to. So, it is what it is. I just think the Nets got a bad deal when they made that trade, and now they're still suffering from it. But that's their fault, right? They made that decision. They sold their soul to the Devils, and the Devils is Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden. And I guess you could say Steve Nash. I mean, I don't know. I think he was just a victim of circumstance. So, but they sold their soul, man, to get them 3 guys, and now none of the guys are there. They in the playoffs because the East is so goddamn pathetic and weak, but they in the playoffs and they about to get swept. So yeah, that's it, Jeffrey. It's over for them. Yeah, it's a fall. They gonna be relaxing, waiting on the next opponent within the end of the week with Philadelphia. So they're gonna get the rest a little bit, chill out. Like I said, I like Tyrese Maxey. I think Joel Embiid is the MVP for this season. I don't think it should be Jokic, not for a third time. Come on, man. That's too much. And not saying he can't get it just because he winning 3 in a row. Not that. But man, Embiid's been balling, man. He's been a beast out there. So I would like to see him get that MVP, truth be told. But with the games we having tomorrow in the Celtics and Hawks, as well as the Knicks and Cleveland, and it's not gonna be a series. Boston and the Hawks, Atlanta Hawks, is another series I think is gonna end in 4. So they're gonna sweep them. Just like they used to do back in the 80s when Dominique Wilkins was there and Larry Bird, swept the shit out of it. They weren't even close. They go in that first round, they done. They made the playoffs. They just glad to be in the playoffs, and that's it. So all my brothers and sisters from Atlanta, GA, enjoy that short live. By the end of the week, I'll be getting ready for the next event. Augusta's over, so I guess y'all can't worry about that no more. I don't know if y'all gonna have for like a Freaknik reunion, being in that the documentary's coming out. I don't know what y'all gonna do now, but that something will be here. Maybe I'll get ready for spring ball for Georgia. Georgia go for their 3rd title. I don't know, maybe. But another good, interesting, I think series is going to be that Cleveland and the Cleveland series versus the New York Knicks. I'm looking forward to that series. What's going on, Miss Lola? Looking forward to that series. I think it's going to be a great series. But I was kind of surprised. I didn't see. I didn't see Cleveland losing that first game to the Knicks. Right? I just didn't see that. Cleveland's got a nice young nucleus and led by Donovan Mitchell. So I was surprised by that. I was definitely surprised by that. But I think that's still gonna. I think that's gonna be a great series, and definitely looking forward to how that pans out. But you got Button down there playing. You got Julius Randle. So you got some dogs down there. You got some dogs down there and with the Knicks, and then Cleveland's got some good with Mobley. I think he's a hell of a big man, and he's a very mobile. He's a very mobile big man, so he could definitely play. And like I said, they got some young good guns down there. I like Donovan Mitchell's game. He brought his scoring and his leadership from Utah over to Cleveland, so he's helping them do the damn thing down there. So it's gonna be an interesting series now. It's hard for me to call. I think they're gonna go 7. I think they're going to go 7, so I look forward to them to be like a 7-game series. That's the way I look at to be handled out. But it's definitely going to be interesting. Another guy I like down there is at Darius Garland, man. That dude's tough, man. That dude's tough. He's a hell of a heady point guard. Mitchell's more so. They may label him a point guard, but he's a 2. He's a 2. And again, you got, the Garland guy. He's from Vanderbilt. So I've been seeing him play for a while too. As well as they got Jared Allen. He's, Jared Allen reminds me of one of them old school centers. And Jared Allen's one of those guys who got caught up in that trade, with the Nets. But so they did that man a favor. Truth be told, they did that man a favor. They got him up out of there, and they did him a favor. So now he's on the team that can really compete in the East. I don't think the Nets going to be able to compete for a while because, like I said, they lost a lot of draft picks. They lost a lot of their bench players, and I still, what are they going to do about a coach? I don't know if they're going to make Jacques Vaughn the permanent coach. They might have been. I guess they ain't really been paying attention to him ever since that deal with like I said, with Kyrie and Durant. So, but again, I like Cleveland's young team they got put together. I think they really got a good team. They put something together with them, so it'll definitely be an interesting series with them. I'm gonna definitely drop this link, guys. So anybody want to come up and shoot the shit about some good sports and talk about it, and maybe defend your team or tell me how sucky your team is. I can tell you one thing about my team, my Bulls. Them suck asses lost. So we're no longer involved in the playoff. But of course, in my opinion, that play is not even a playoff, man. That's like the 68th, 67th, 66th, and 65 team of the NCAA tournament. No, I don't consider you in the NCAA tournament. I don't give a damn what they call it. I don't consider you in the tournament. So if you're in a play-in game, I don't consider you in the playoff, man. I just don't. I don't. No. That's bullshit. That's just another way to sell more tickets and make money. But I don't consider that consider you in the playoff when you do some shit like that. But definitely man, you got to do what you got to do, big brother. I'll see you shortly. It's definitely interesting how that's going to pan out as far as my Bulls. I mean, I'm done. I'm done with Billy Donovan. But look, I don't want to talk about them assholes because they're not even in the playoffs. They're not even worth talking about. Let's talk about some real teams who made the playoffs. So another series that I'm also have some type of interest in is the Miami. Now, I know the Miami did beat my team, and a little disappointed they beat my Bulls, but that's the breaks, right? They wanted it more than we did. But guess what the Miami team's out there doing? Miami team right now beating the number 1 seed in the playoffs. So they up 1 on the Bucks right now. Right now as we speak, they are up on the Bucks. So, hey, did they have to scrape and back their way in to get there? Yeah, they did. But guess what? They're there. And ain't nothing nobody can do about it. Nothing nobody can do about it. So now, how long that's going to last, I don't know. It might be determined on whether Giannis comes back. Because if Giannis doesn't come back, man, that series up in the air for Miami. So they got a chance. They got a chance. Look, my guy. Okay. He said he's riding with the Knicks. Oh, yes. Please support the channel. Like, subscribe. Share it with your friends, your family, loved ones. Share with your baby daddy, your baby mama. Everybody need to get the opportunity to watch the show. You're right. You're right, Jeff. It's just one game, but man, just the way that game was going, man, that's concerning, right? To me, that's concerning. And again, with Giannis not being there, and who knows, he may not play the next game. I mean, because he ain't gonna be able to keep taking them bumps and bruises and taking them hips. He's not like he's a real thick guy. Got a lot of cushion. So for him to take a fall like that, man, it's tough. You don't want to see your superstar out of the game, not for any part, any injury, no type. You right? So you want his health and well-being all the way right, so you can compete. Because the thing about Miami, they're a gritty, hungry team, man. Again, they did what they had to do in order to get to the playoffs. And so now they're there. Hey, man, they ain't got nothing to lose and everything to gain. He said, I'm glad I didn't bet. Yeah, you save yourself a few coins, I guess. Save yourself a few coins, but, again, it is just one game, guys. I mean, don't start sweating just yet. It's 1-0. They still got to finish out. It's the best out of 7, not the best out of 5. Like it used to be. Oh, matter of fact, best. like he used to be in the first round, best out of 5. So that's not the case no more. So it's the best out of 7, and they got to win 4 out of the 7. So we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens, and looking forward to seeing the results of that game. Because, like I said, they've been doing it. They've been doing the damn thing. So we'll see. We'll see. But another series that we got going on, like I was saying earlier, was that Clippers and Suns. Now, you said you're glad you didn't bet. That Kings and Suns, I'm sorry, not the Kings and Suns, the Suns and the Clippers, that been a game I was looking to bet on. That was a game I was looking to bet on, but I'm glad I didn't either. Because, man, I don't know, man. Kawhi Leonard was out there balling, but he looked like the best player on the court. And that's with Durant, Devin Booker, and everybody else. And that was without Paul George. Now, I don't know if he's going to come back or not. I don't know. But the way they played yesterday, man, they was tough. They was tough, man. They played good defense. They did up on Devin Booker, real tough, man. Made him frustrated at times. Hey, it was a hell of a game. I tell you this, Westbrook didn't find a way to screw that game up. He was taking some silly shots and some bad shots. And we all know my man has some questionable decision making. Matter of fact, we can go to the film and show that on what happened after the game when he got into it with a fan. So let me play this video real fast.
Watch your mouth. Take it like a man. Watch your mouth, motherfucker. Watch your mouth. Straight like that. Watch your mouth. That's the man. Talk about it. Be about it. Woo!
So you heard the lady at the end say West Brick. Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking about when he did that. What he was thinking about when he went into that tunnel and decided to address a fan. That made no sense to me. Say you're in the midst of playing the game and winning the series, and you do something like that, mess around, get yourself suspended, man. I mean, unfortunately, fans are gonna be fans. They're gonna be assholes. You know what I'm saying? When you're a visiting team, they're gonna do some stupid shit and crazy and say some stupid shit and some shit that's out of character. I understand, man. But you gotta keep your shit together, man. You can't let them get off your square. You can't do that, man. You can't. Because if you do, man, now it's gonna affect your game. It's gonna affect your play. And then that's not good, right? You can't get caught up with them. Now they're supposed to be there to help the whole team and get in your psyche and get in your head so you can't focus on what you need to do. And there's times when Westbrook buys into that bullshit. And unfortunately, it looked like he bought into that bullshit because he didn't have his best game, but he didn't have his worst game. Let me say that. He didn't do too bad. He didn't do anything to really hurt the team, but I can't really say he didn't do really enough to help the team. He did what he needed to do, right? He was an irritant. He was out there being disgruntled and saying shit, doing shit, messing with KD, saying little shit during the game, doing intermissions, doing halftime, I'm sure, probably sent him a text message. And we all know how sensitive KD is about getting tweeted about on social media. He probably said something bad about the man's mama. Westbrook seemed like that type of dude to do some shit like that, right? He doing the game. He had one of his little flunkies. Hey, man, send a text right before halftime, and send a text right before halftime. Yeah, I think he'll do some shit like that. So, with that being said, again, he didn't do anything to really hurt him like that, but Westbrook was being Westbrook. So I don't know how that series is going to turn out. I can see it going all 7. You know what I'm saying? I can see it going all 7. So we'll see. We'll see. But another series is the Lakers and Ja Morant. Now, Memphis been talking some shit here, right? They've been talking this shit. You know what I'm saying, about who they playing, who they not worried about, who they playing. And right now, they looking bad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at halftime, they had a nice little cushion lead. I don't know if they got comfortable, got relaxed, and just thought the Lakers was just going to lay down. And maybe during the regular season, they did that type shit. They did that type shit. So maybe that's what they was banking on in. I see old Jeff come through with the stats. I got you, big brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, he did. Again, he didn't do anything to really hurt him. I don't know about help him, because he was taking a lot of bad shots and missing them. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So that's Westbrook for you. You just got to live with him, man. You got to live with him, taking them crazy, unnecessary shots, especially them 3-point shots, knowing he's wide open. There's a reason why they leave your ass wide open, Westbrook. There's a reason why they do that, right? So, but nonetheless, it is what it is. But back to the Lakers and Memphis game. Again, I think that's going to be an interesting series. I don't know about a good series. I think it's worth watching. And normally, I would probably be more invested in it, but I'm really not. Because I like the possible matchup in the second round if they can make it. Now, it may not happen because it may not happen because if the Sacramento Kings beat the Golden State, that's the matchup everyone sees, the Golden State and Lakers matchup series again, right? So I think the Lakers could do their part, but I don't think the Golden State's gonna do their part by beating Sacramento. So I know it may be the series that everybody won't see, but I don't think it's gonna happen, guys. I don't think so. We'll have to see about that. I don't think it is. But you know, LeBron was out there. You know, he didn't score his average. He got, I think he ended up with like 20 points. I think that's what he ended up with. But you know, is that below his average? Yeah. And as well as AD, I think he ended up with like 22. But man, you had two other guys, man, that really showed the ass. One guy, you know, Archie Moore. I remember him when he was drafted to I'm still calling them the Washington Bullets, but I know they're the Wizards now. But when he was drafted to Washington, and he played college ball at Gonzaga, and Gonzaga, he was a monster. He was a monster, man. But I remember when he got drafted there, and I thought he was gonna have a decent career at Washington. So, but you know, he's got to realize Washington's Washington, man, and they're just a bad franchise. They're just a bad franchise. So that opportunity for him to get out of there, man, in that trade was big. That was big. But what that trade did for the Lakers, man, it allowed them to get D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, another former Kentucky player, and Archie Moore guy was in the trade with that Westbrook trade. So that allowed him to come there, and it then allowed for the Lakers to help build their bench and create a bench, really. And so that trade really helped them, between that Westbrook trade and all of that, man. It really helped them, man. So congratulations to them for making that big move right before the All-Star break. And so now they're in this position right now. They're in the playoffs, and they got a 1-0 series over the Grizzlies. So we'll see. We'll see. So that'll definitely, I think, it'll be interesting. Now, I think that's going to end up going 7. I know the Lakers up 1-0, but I think that's going to end up going 7 because, well, let me say this. It depends on my man John Morant and his hand and his health, man. That's definitely gonna be a big difference. Yeah, that's what he ended up having, like 2021. Yeah. I again, he's been averaging like 20 between 25 and 29 points a game. So that was a little below average for LeBron yesterday. But guess what? Thank goodness you had two other guys that really showed up and showed out. You know what I'm saying? And Archie Moore had a career high game of 29, and he balled out, man. So, props to them. Yeah, and AD, he was struggling. He got a little nicked up for a minute, but I tell you this, AD's playing hell of a defense, though, man. That's what people forgot about AD when he came to the league. He was a hell of a defensive player, man. I watched this guy in an NCAA championship game. He scored no more than 7 points. But that dude had about 4 blocks, 20. Well, he had no 20. I'm exaggerating. He had a lot of rebounds. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of deflections. He won the MVP, most outstanding player of the NCAA tournament, just playing on his good defense. Like I said, he didn't score a lot of points. I don't remember, he scored over 7 points in that game. But it was his defense. His not only his shot blocking, but he altered shots, rebounding. You know what I'm saying? Playing good defense, man. So this guy had defense before he came to the league. Now, I don't know, once he got to the league, he said, well, nobody in the league played defense, so I'm not going to play. I don't know if he took that mindset while he was in New Orleans and a little bit while he was with the Lakers. I don't know. But yesterday, that dude showed his defensive tenacity. He showed he can play some good D. Yes. Yes, he did. So he did what he had to do. And he missed a lot of the game because he felt like he lost feeling, I think, in his arm. He can't move his arm or something like that. So they took him back there, checked him out. They probably gave him one of them good old shots. Shoot him out with some of that num juice and sent him back out there, and he balled out. And was the reason why the Lakers won that game. So, yeah, shout out to AD, man, for that great, really big second half of the game, man. Just really lift your team over the threshold. So, now the Nuggets in Minnesota. Right here, I think this will be the only sweep of the West. I think everybody else in the West is going to be in a dogfight. But, for the only team that's going to get a sweep in the West is this Nuggets and Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, of course, the Nuggets are number 1 seed, and rightfully so, because they won enough games to get that, right? I think 54, and they're winning 54 or 53, something like that. So they're going to be the number 1 seed, and they get to play the weak-ass Minnesota Timberwolves, my man Jeff's team. They trash, Jeff. No, nothing against you, my brother, but they are trash. So they playing against them, and it's gonna be over. So you guys in Minnesota, I don't know what y'all gonna do. I guess maybe get ready for the Minnesota Twins. Hopefully y'all make a run in the Central this year as far as the baseball. I doubt it. Well, look here. I say I don't even know what the record is. They might be number 1 team in the division. Shit, I don't know. I ain't been watching it. I ain't gonna lie about that. I ain't been watching it. So, but yeah, some of that num juice. But yeah, that's series gonna be over in 4. It's gonna be over in 4. It won't. Again, it won't be much of a series. So, but that's pretty much the playoff picture. That's pretty much what's been happening. Definitely is the good thing about the playoffs, man, is here. It's that time of season where not a lot of other sports is really taking over. So the NBA has the opportunity to really shine. It's their time to shine. Just like during the NCAA tournament, that's the college basketball's time to shine. And so, to me, it lived up to it. It lived up to it because you got really in NCAA 3 teams that was, to me, was considered Cinderellas. And the only really powerhouse team that was in there, to me, was UConn. And lo and behold, that Powerhouse team won in UConn. So congratulations to them, if I didn't already say that. But as far as the NBA, man, I think for the most part, there's going to be some good series. You're going to have, like I said, the one in the West will be that the Timberwolves and Nuggets game. It'll be a sweep. And a couple teams in the East that'll be swept will be the Nets and 76ers, as well as the Hawks and the Celtics. Now, fortunate for them, guys, they do have pro baseball teams that they could partake in. So the Braves, if they still call the Braves, I don't know. They politically might have changed their names like the Cleveland Guardians did. They used to be called the Cleveland Indians, but now they're called the Cleveland Guardians. So they was forced to change their name. So I don't know. So I'm going to just say Atlanta. So that baseball team in Atlanta, there's a baseball team in Atlanta, so they're going to have the opportunity to go cheer on them and watch them. They did win the World Series just recently, so they have something to look forward to. As far as the Nets, Brooklyn Dodgers are not there no more. They in LA, so I don't know what the local team up there is for them. I guess maybe the Mets. I don't know if they ride with the Yankees up there. I don't know. So whichever side of the fence on, hey, go watch your baseball teams because your season will be over here shortly, real shortly. So that'll wrap up on the basketball end of the conversation. But we're gonna talk about the greatest sports, the greatest sport that is known to man, and that's football. I know y'all say, man, football season is out. Football season's not in no more. Look at guys, football season's always in. NFL is never not out. So they still call the Braves, yeah. Okay. I didn't know if they still call the Braves or not, man, because I know the old tree huggers come through and make some things, make some changes, make some switching rules around here. So you never know. But let's talk about football. And so one of the biggest news things happened today, man, is my man Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts got him a bag now. So let me play this little clip so we can all see the money that Jalen Hurts just received this season or today.
Breaking news into ESPN. The Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts have reached an agreement on a 5-year, $255 million extension, including $179,000 and change million guaranteed, a source telling Adam Schefter. You can see his tweet right there. Hurts became the highest paid player in NFL history.
So Jalen Hurts signed a 5-year deal, $255 million contract, 179 of it guaranteed. That's some good eating right there, Jalen. Jalen got some good eating. Hold on. Jeff's all over the place, man. Hold on. What we doing here, Jeff? You got teams all over the globe. You cheering for Minnesota, the 49ers, Atlanta. God damn. Big brother, I'll drop the link, man. Come on, we can talk about it because that's definitely what I'm about to talk about next. I'm definitely about to talk about that next because I don't know. With this deal that Jalen Hurts just got it pretty much ended Lamar's hopes. I know he felt like Deshaun Watson might have reset the market. No. Man, just said no set squad for the NBA. I understand. First things first, congratulations to Jalen Hurts, a well-deserved contract. did everything he needed to do to earn that contract. He performed, he produced. To me, if he didn't get hurt and missed them couple games, he probably would have won the MVP. He probably would have won the MVP. I know Patrick Mahomes had a good season, but I think Jalen Hurts had a better season. Jalen Hurts outperformed Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. It just so happens that the other squad won. Now, there was a time where a loser won the MVP. Normally it's going to the winner. There was a time where they won the MVP. I can't remember that player that did it that one year. They lost the championship game, but won the MVP. Damn, I can't remember. But it has happened. It has happened. So it's not like it hasn't. He said the biggest man. Hey, man. Look, they just know how to run the league, man. They ain't going for that bullshit. And guess what? It may be the reason why they the best and most entertaining and the biggest money maker in all the sports, because of how they run it. So I don't know. But with that being said, let's get back to Jalen Hurts, man. I'm giving his props. The guy's a great leader, man. He's been a leader ever since I seen him in college when he was at Alabama. He's a great leader then. He showed his leadership and how humble he was through the college rank. And even when he got set down for Tua, he could have acted a fool. He could have made the scene. He could have acted out and did some other thing. Quiet as kept. He kept his composure. He did what he had to do. When he was called to come in, when Tua got hurt, he came in, did what he needed to do. He won the game. He went back to a position of second string. When the season was over with, he quietly went out. He didn't go out making noise, ragging on Saban and Alabama. He didn't do none of that shit. He handled his business. He realized this is what it is. It's a business. So guess what he did? He went on down to Oklahoma and balled out there. Did what Jalen needed to do. Now, to me, I thought he was a first-round pick as a quarterback last year. Not a second-round pick, but a first-round pick when he got drafted. But, who am I? I'm not no GM. I don't make them calls. But nonetheless, Philadelphia drafted him, even though they had Carson Wentz. They drafted him. I was mad about it. As a Bear fan, I wanted to get him. I was happy as hell when I seen he didn't go to the first round, because we didn't have a first-round pick that year. And he fell to the second round, but unfortunately, Philadelphia was drafted ahead of us, and they got to him before we did. And now they're reaping the rewards from him. They are reaping the rewards from him. So, man, come in there, start leading the squad, had an MVP type season, carried his team to the Super Bowl. Winning. That's what you got to do. You got to win. You got to be available. You got to win. And that's what he's doing. He's putting up good numbers. The team respects him. They love him. You know what I'm saying? They realize what they have. They invest in and making the proper moves to put pieces around him, and that's what they're doing. Now, what I was saying about his contract deal hurting Lamar, it hurt Lamar because they play damn near the same style, just in different offenses. So with that being said, Hurts got to win a record in the playoffs, right? He's got to win a record in the playoffs. He took his team to the Super Bowl. Within his first 4 years of NFL, he's done that. Lamar hasn't. Lamar hasn't got only won one playoff game. But you want this guaranteed money? Now, people keep saying, oh, well, he was MVP. You're correct. He was the MVP. But how long ago was that? Seem like eternity now? That's what it seems like. Second year? He's on his fifth? man, I mean, but since that MVP year, he's been digressing and digressing, man. You know what I'm saying? Missing games. Now, I know that 1 year he missed some games because, caught the vid. But, dude, you caught it twice. You didn't use proper precautions to take care of yourself? No, he didn't. Because I remember seeing him down here in Louisville, hanging out, doing derby, partying, and having a good time. And that's when he came back, got popped for a second. So, I don't know. Should Lamar get an agent? Oh, hell yeah, Lamar should have an agent. Lamar should have been and had an agent. He want Lamar to go to them weak ass Atlanta Hawks, Atlanta Falcons. Jesus Christ, they have nothing. They have as much as Baltimore have. Matter of fact, they got less. Truth be told, that may not be a good look for them. Yeah, I don't think so, man. What's going on, big brother? Look, we ain't talking about them big women today. I know you love the big women. We ain't talking about them big women today. We talking about sports. You more than welcome to come through, break bread with me. I'll drop the link. But as far as Lamar, man, yeah, he needs to get an agent. He probably should have had an agent. And him not having an agent right now is just really showing. I appreciate that, big brother. Him not having an agent is really hurting. It's really hurting a man. It really is. So I don't know. To me, if I was him, sign a franchise tag and maybe looking into hiring an agent in the meantime. Because right now, man, he's missing out on opportunities and money, man. And he's just not moving like he should, right? I think he's making a lot of bad decisions and then trying to communicate himself through Twitter. No, man. You need to get a media relations team. Your mama's not doing it. She's not. She's doing you a disservice, man. Because I'm sure they're talking down about you, and she doesn't know she's supposed to talk you up, and she's just trying to sell that MVP year, man. I mean, you might be right. Now, his father passed. I'm not going to go into detail on why, but yeah, he passed. So he did have a father. So, but currently, no, you're right. He hasn't had a father since he was in high school. Damn. Said Lamar possible going to that alternative lifestyle as Dolphins will be so damn disappointing. Hey, man, whoever's going ready to make the move to get him, I mean, they're going to make the move. Now, I heard a lot of people talking about collusion and all. I don't know about that, man. You just got to be willing to pull the trigger and make that investment. To me, that's what I think. You just got to be willing to make that investment in order to get him. Are the teams willing to do that? That's the question. Are they willing to make that type of investment to get Lamar? I don't know. Because when this man's demanding for his whole contract to be guaranteed, who's going to make that investment? You ain't had an MVP season in a couple years. Who's going to make that investment? In the last 2 years, you missed 11 games. 11. That makes no sense. So Lamar's going to have to lower his asking price first things first. And lowering his asking price needs to be not saying, I want my whole contract guaranteed. Lamar, come up off that bullshit. I know you want to compare your contract to Deshaun Watson. But dog, truth be told, you shouldn't want to compare yourself to Deshaun Watson and all the bullshit he's been doing. You don't want that comparison. You don't want to be even known in the same breath as that dude, because that dude's kind of creepy. So I don't know why you won't even compare as far as anything with that man. He needs to get an agent. Tell his mama thank you for your service. I appreciate what you did. But this ain't cutting it. We're gonna have to get some an agent and pay that little percentage. Stop worrying about that little bit of money that the agent gonna take. You'll find a way to make it up here and there. He's gonna get you some TV deals, which you really need. You deserve to get some more bigger market national deals, not these little small local Baltimore deals. That's some bullshit. So you need that. You need to get your contract going. I mean, whatever endorsements that you do get, well, maybe with a shoe company, he could probably put that out there for you. Because I know she's not doing none of that. I know she's not. She's not. She just think about strictly football, not think about nothing else, man. And so you're doing yourself a disservice, Lamar. Man, I hate to see it for you, but, it is what it is. No. Look, man. Only the Cleveland Browns will make the biggest, dumbest, bad investment like that. Only the Cleveland Browns. Now, I don't know. My man Jeff keep talking about Atlanta. Atlanta might make that dumb-ass investment. They may pay all that guarantee. They probably will, because they're not too smart themselves either. So, shout out to the Falcons, but they've been known to do some dumb shit too. So, one of the dumbest things they did was trade Brett Favre, but we're gonna leave that alone. Yeah, I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I don't see it, man. Look, he's going to have to come up off that guaranteed contract. That's what I'm gonna let y'all know right here. This woman right here. This woman right here. Miss Fancy. She still ain't explained herself about. I don't believe it. She know the mess I put. Still ain't explaining herself why you hate me so much. I don't know why she hate me. I'm a lovable type person, Miss Fancy. In case you didn't know, I am lovable. Thank you, though. Thank you. And guess what, Miss Fancy? I added another chef. So currently, I got 7 that you can see, but I have 8 because I got one over in my corner right there. Nobody can see. So, yes, thank you. Thank you for the nice and kind words. Yes, it's an investment. It is. But it's cool. I like it. I like it. Now, what I will say is, I hope I don't be on your next ether, because I did watch that. And you had some things you had to get up off your chest. And I understand. You got to do what you got to do on why you don't mess with certain people. But I try not to get into all that bullshit. It's just not me. It's not my thing. So, but I understand why the beef is out there. But it is what it is. But nonetheless, see, my friend Nurse Fancy got me all off topic. I can't. Nurse Fancy can't be coming there doing that to me now. We supposed to be cool. We can't be coming there trying to mess up the stream. But nonetheless, Lamar really needs to get an agent. Again, he needs to let his mom go as far as her agent duties and say, hey, Mom, do me one thing. One last thing is my active agent. And I need for you to find me a certified agent so we can get this thing going. Because I don't know if he's really going to wait. Now, I heard, some of these shows talk about how maybe he should wait for all the other shoes to drop around him as far as the quarterbacks. Yeah, I don't know if I would do that, Lamar. I don't know if I would do that. I don't know. Because what you're doing is waiting this out like that, but then all of a sudden you see them there, these contracts low on the market again for you. Not to where it was, or it could possibly be if you had to wait and sign that deal with Baltimore. Now, what I'm hearing is they offered Lamar pretty much the same thing what Jalen Hurts has, maybe a little bit less, maybe I think like $5 million less as far as the guarantee. But if that's the case, if they offer you $170 million guaranteed, like on $230 or $255 million contract, Lamar, that's good money, brother. What are we doing here, man? What are we doing here? Oh, look at my friend. Hey, I got something for you. Hold on. Guys, I know I haven't done it yet, but I got to do it. And one of the things I have to do, I have to show my Funko Pops of the week. And so since the person who's requested to see my Funko Pops and encouraged me to display them is in the chat, I have to show them. So the Funko Pops of the week are Caddyshack. So here go 2 of them. It's 5 characters in all. Here goes 2 more. Right? That's one right there. That's Rodney Dangerfield. And I did show Bill Murray. But the 5th character is the most famous one of all. The Gopher. Yeah, that's the guy that caused all the trouble in the movie. Now, that movie's funny as hell. And I love that movie. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Matter of fact, I'm in a process of doing some changes. So my secretary is supposed to be getting my list together, because we got to kind of separate my list between Funko Pops and action figures. So that's part of the switcheroo. But yeah, we're gonna get that all organized. Yes, I do. I do have them up there. I do. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. So yeah, I'm in the process of organizing. And so I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna set it up, because throwing some ideas out there. I talked to a guy the other day. Matter of fact, I was talking to the guy at one of my stores I like to go to. And one of the things I was having a conversation about is how I'm going to set it up, because I got a mixture of like favorite movies and then favorite TV shows and favorite artists and musicians and different actors. So that's kind of how I have it right now. But I'm going to set it up like, a couple shelves for sports, another shelf for movies, and another set of shelves as far as TV shows. That's how I'm going to have it set up. So right now I have 8 shelves. And so with them 8 shelves, I'm going to have 2 dedicated to those sections, since that's pretty much I'm having to do it. Now, yeah, I do have a lot. I do have a lot. It's crazy how many I got. I do have a lot. So, but it's okay. It's okay. I got the space. I got this whole big house by myself. I got plenty of space in it. I could do that. So take advantage of it. So one of the things is movie room is going to get, I'm going to start getting the bigger figurines. And I showed them to you. I'm going to definitely display them to you. Y'all definitely going to get an opportunity to see that. I will definitely show those as well. And I will have those in the movie room. So where, you know, I'll be at watching games, I'm watching movies, I'm streaming movies. I don't even watch. You know something? That's crazy. I'm talking. Now I'm just getting totally off subject sport. Now I'm just talking about shit in general. Well, I guess we can, you know, pretty much. So let's just have a conversation. Anybody want to come up where we can talk about this shit if y'all want to? That's cool. If you come up, you ain't got to talk about sports. We're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Q&A with Hink today, right? But with that being said, let me say this. Wednesday show is going to be a good show. My Wednesday show is going to be on financial literacy. So, guys, I'll hope you guys, I hope you guys can be here. I really do. I hope you guys can be here. All who's in attendance now could continue to be in attendance on Wednesday. What we got here? Orange girl, I hope you're ready. We collect a lot of stuff, and they are not facts. Now, I tried to give them guys grace when they say that. I tried, but it is a little irritating when I hear them say, call them toys. But they don't understand. So I try to give them grace, right? That's what I try to do. Said you hate when your mom does it. Oh shit. I know that's right. Yeah, I try to give them grace with that. But back to it. Wednesday show is going to be a good show on, like I said, on financial literacy. I don't know. I mean, it's just something that we need in our community, right? And the reason I really want to do the show, because we need to stop making excuses, stop looking at it as a roadblock or anything else like that. There is so many ways for you to make a good, honest, fair living. And if that means, you know, possibly having you a part-time job, right? A second job or whatever the case may be, is what it is. But with that being the case, another thing about the money you make and whatever money you make now, you should have a budget. Everybody should have a budget. Now, I know when people heard the word budget, they think this is a negative thing. Guys, we got to let that go. There's nothing wrong with you having a budget. We should all have a budget. What is your budget? Is a big budget? Or are you the little man and you got a small budget? You should have a budget. And we always talk about generational wealth. What part of you building generational wealth is you having a budget? That's one of the small ways you can help create generational wealth for your youngins. So it's funny when I people hear me say, I tell people I still use a spreadsheet now, right? I'm that old school dude. I'm 47. Now I know there are a lot of apps out here you could use, and I looked into them. Some of them are cool, and I like them. But it's something about me writing it down, right? That's me. That's just me. But look, I ain't gonna lie. Right here, this front back shit. You know what this is? It's my Funko Pop list. And that's about 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 8 pages, front and back. That's what I got. 8 pages, front and back. That's what I got in this room, you see. But that's just me. That's just what I do. I know that's right. Miss Fan said she budgets. We cheap around here. I know, man. Look. Me, I live below my means. I can have a lot more. I'm just not like that. You know what I put more of my money on? It's on homes, residents, houses. That's where I invest my money in. The place where I lay my head, where I know my returns are going to be greater. Not in vehicles, not in jewelry. Homes. Rental property. That's what I put my money into. That's what I feel. That's what I do. That's me. Yes, I'm a regular dude. I'm that blue collar dude that y'all ladies don't like, that y'all ladies don't are not into. I work a 9 to 5. Well, I don't work 9 to 5, but I work a job, a regular job, a 9 to 5 type job. I'm not one of these YouTube guys on YouTube, and I'm 6-figure rich dude. That's not me. I make a good living in what I do, right? That's what I do. Well, look, Nurse fans, I don't know when you Nurse fans, hit the link. Come on up here. Don't be scared of Hank. Hank ain't gonna hurt you. Hank's a nice guy. I promise you he is. He's not that bad. Come on up and hang out with me. And look, you don't have to cam up if you don't feel comfortable. I understand. But you got to show me that you are who you are if you do come up. Okay? You got to do it at first, but then you just cam up. So come on up and we can have fun, right? My man Jeff said. Right on, Jeff. I understand. Miss Fancy. When you drive on, you be safe in your travels. Right on. And you know you more than welcome to come up. What you waiting on? I know what you're doing. You probably on a game right now, playing on your game. I don't know what game it is. But let me say that one game I did like. It looks good. If I was into video games, I would get it. I don't know what's a bald-headed dude with the red line going down his face. I don't know what that is. That looked fun. He had a big-ass axe. I don't know what that game is. But it looked like a fun game. If I was in the game, I'll probably be playing that game. That and Madden. Madden used to be my thing back in the days. Oh, man. So, but let me say this. Yeah, I'm right there with you, brother. I'm 1975. June 15, 1975. I was born at 10:48. I remember back in the days when I would first be online. And people would give me shit about my clock. I have a big clock up in my still got it in my living room. And the time is stuck on 10:48. Well, I never explained to people why it stays on that. Because it's the time I was born. So, my batteries went out one day. I never decided to change it. And what I do, I said, the hell, I'm not putting it back. I don't feel like it. So what I do, I moved the time to 10:40 and just left it there. Never moved it since. So it's still stuck. If you go in my living room now, I have that big clock still behind me on my couch, behind my couch above my head. And it's on 10:48. That's the time I was born. On June 15th, 1975. So, my man said July the 14th. Okay, my son was born on July the 12th. Right on to you, big brother. I don't. Oh, but yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. But damn, see, it's old man shit. I forgot what I was talking about. No, we talking about my show on Wednesday. Let me get a drink of water and I'll get back with you. Hold on. So, my Wednesday show is called Financial Literacy. And what I want to see is, I want to see us win, right? I want to see us win, but you know, I say it all the time. My message out there really just help to put a message out there for young black men. You know, men of my son's age, nephews, you know what I'm saying, cousins, neighbors, kids, you know, man, that's really, I try to really focus my message on to really push down, because there's a gap there where there's, you know, there's really nobody really speaking for them or talking to them, because a lot of people just can't relate to them, right? So I can, because I've dealt with them so much between the elementary ages when I was a substitute teacher on to the point where I was coaching, you know, was coaching Little League football as well as a little bit of basketball, and just me interacting with them when they had career days, right? And I would go to a certain middle school and talk to 7th graders about what I do at my job. You know, I was able to interact with those young men and young ladies as well, but you know, I was able to interact with them and got to listen to them and talk to them and was able to relate to them, because a lot of their stories, that was my story. I definitely can relate to them. That story was my story. What they're going through, I felt that, because I went through. I was that child that didn't, you know, that was on government assistance, free lunch as they called it. You know what I'm saying? I remember times, like I said, I opened the door and there's a brown box on our porch, because we was one of those families that was less fortunate. That's what they gave us, and they had the free cheese in there. They had the cereal. They had the juice without sugar, with the white label with the black lettering. That was it. I remember I learned how to make sugar cookies. It was on the back of one of the boxes of the powdered milk, how to make sugar cookies. You know what your boy did? Made him some sugar cookies with powdered milk. This is a trick my mama did, right? We would have 1 gallon of milk. And this is before I even knew anything about the expiration dates, right? I didn't know them. I just thought those was like just numbers for the store. I didn't know those dates was just there for, as far as expirations, right? So we will always have milk. For some odd reason, we would have nothing else. Guaranteed we would have milk. Wouldn't have no juice at the time, no apple juice, none of that. Milk, we always had. But you know why we always had it? Because she would be making powdered milk. And I forgot why I went down in the cabinet. I was looking for something in the cabinet. I don't know what I was looking for. But I seen that powdered milk, and I put 2 and 2 together. What the shit? That's why we always got milk, because she making that powdered milk. And I think it was one day my buddy said, man, this milk's expired. I said, no, it ain't expired, man. We just got that milk. I mean, that milk was just full. You know, came on one day, it was full. No, we just got that milk. What are you talking about expired? How you know it's expired? It don't taste funny. It don't smell funny. It tastes and smells like it normally is for me. Man, look at the date on there. What date? What are you talking about, date? So I looked on it, and it was a date, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I didn't know that was expiration date. Now, this young man he was hip to the game plan. I wasn't. I'm just glad to have some milk in our house. You know what I'm saying? I remember times when our LG&E got turned off, and we got this cooler from my grandfather, He gave us a cooler, and we had to get bags of ice and put our milk in and our lunch meat in. That's that poor people shit. Now, I'm not talking about sports. It ain't got nothing to do with sports. Just talking about some shit that I did. We did that too. Yeah. Was it cheap? Was the cheese hard to cut? Yes, it was. But let me tell you what it was. It was real cheese. Not that processed cheese, because that cheese you put on hamburger now don't even hardly melt. You put that government cheese on, man, it make that hamburger so goddamn good. Man, made that hamburger so goddamn good. Man, it made a hell of a grilled cheese. Shh, you couldn't tell me that. But my girl said something about recycling cans. Yeah, we recycle cans. But let me tell you a little trick we did. We used to put rocks in the cans and crush them so they can't hear them. Because, they pay you for the weight. That's how they pay you the aluminum, for the weight. They weigh your cans, and that's how they pay you. The heavier it is, the more money you get. So we found that out the first day we went. Then we started putting rocks in them. A little bitty rock. Now, not the, you could put a big rock in there because it make too much noise, right? So we put them little pebble rocks, and we step when we crush them. And then, we have them in the bags. So back in the days, my dad used to work at Philip Morris, and they used to get these big ass, these big ass, I don't even know if they was guard bag, but that's where they kept the bags they used to take the tobacco around, the tobacco was already crushed up and processed, right? That's how they would log it around. And so he would bring those bags home, and of course he would use them for his lawn service he had. He get all his leaves in one of them big old bags, but that's the bags we also use for putting the cans in. So we would put the cans in that bag. That's what we would do. Shit like that. Look here, I know some of y'all can't relate to what I'm talking about, and that's cool, I understand, but that's that pole shit. Pole shit. So, but that's what we used to do. Crush cans, put rocks in them, have the weight in there, and we get paid for them. We get paid. That's what we did. Use that little money, end up going to the candy truck. Get them penny candies. Rack up. So I've been hustling for a long time. Been doing it ever since I was a youngin. Since I was a youngin. So that's just me. But so I've always been cheap. And I guess that's just, I got that shit from my dad, really. You know what I'm saying? That's, I guess there's two things that I can say I learned from him. And that's how to work hard and a good work ethic and being cheap, our budget and stuff like that. Those couple things that I did learn from him. Now we didn't have the best relationship when I was young, but what I did see and what I did acknowledge and learn from him was those two things: how to work and how to budget. Well, he didn't really teach me how to budget, but how to live below your means and how to be, cheap, even though he had the money. Because, like I said, he worked at Philip Morris. Philip Morris was one of your highest paying jobs in the state. Next to Ford, it was the second highest. So, yeah, and that's where I learned some of that from him. But with that being said, financial literacy is very important for us, especially us as Black people. We need to take advantage of it, need to take the opportunity to learn financial literacy, whether you got to pay for it or you get free courses. And with that being said, if you get free courses, and I know there's going to be the basic stuff, but that basic stuff is going to save you a whole lot of money. That basic stuff can allow you and show you how to invest properly in certain things and what to invest in and I possibly would not to invest in. But I'm not gonna go over the details with that tonight. That's not the time. I'm gonna do that on Wednesday, and I'm gonna have a couple guys up there with me on the show on Wednesday. So hopefully you guys are able to tap in with me, man, and break bread with me on Wednesday, and we can definitely yeah, I did that too. Oh man, I did that too. Hustling car. Yeah, I did. So I'm gonna give you one more story before I go. But yeah, definitely tap in with me. Definitely tap in with me on Wednesday on financial literacy. Definitely looking forward to the show. And again, please, I want as much audience participation as possible. Whatever questions you have that I'm gonna present to the guys, please do. I have some questions already that I'm gonna ask, but but as part of the audience, I would love to see y'all guys ask the questions, so it can really help you guys, because that's what I want to do. I pretty much got my budget together and all that together. I do that. I'm part of that one pot theory. So my lady knows it's one pot. I'm not about money over there. Your money's it's my money, man. If I'm going to bless you, I'm going to bless you all the way with everything and all things. If I'm going to bless you with my last name, you got everything that comes with it. Everything. So definitely tune in Wednesday. I definitely want to see you do that. It's going to be a great show. I hope you get to join us now. Look, I know you might have to pause the game for a bit to do that. Come on over. Have fun with us. Hey, please bring, like I said, I definitely want the plenty of questions to be asked. It's definitely needed, because you never know. Your question might help somebody else who may be nervous or embarrassed to ask a question, and you as well to step out and ask a question and allow us to, to try to find the answers for you and help you with the answers and get you the answers. You know what I'm saying? So and when you do it that way, then it's true. That's true. More than likely you won't. You know what I'm saying? Unless a person is unless your person is doing something, just totally off. Yeah, let me explain that too, because I know some people have a misunderstanding when I say one pot. They thinking, oh, all my money just go in one bank account and that's it. No. Part of money and making money and budgeting and all that is you also got to make your money make money for you, and you have to diversify your monies. You got to invest your money into other things, into other areas. So no, all your money's not going in one pot, and that's how it stays. And you just pay. No, you diversify your money. So like, I'm gonna be vulnerable, right? Let me see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 different accounts that I work out of. 5 different banks that I deal with, right? I deal with 2 credit unions. I deal with Fidelity. I deal with Fifth Third. Those are the banks that I deal with on a regular basis. So when I sit there and say, one pot, some people get kind of confused by that. You know, so that's why when I say it, sometimes I feel the need. I got to explain it because they get confused, and I don't want to confuse nobody with that. Because when I say one pot, what I mean by one pot means me and my wife. Our monies are together. So if I'm at $85,000 a year, man, she's a 65, right? We got 150,000 right there. The Hink family has 150,000 right there. That's our income. So when we go and want to get, a new loan to buy some new property, right? And they see that I already have this certain amount of money, say about $75,000 in the savings account, right? They see that's hands-on, touchable income. They see that. Guess what? Oh man, this guy's okay. Cool. They see that I'm reliable and I got that money and they can loan me the money. My credit card, my credit score is right where it needs to be. That's what it is. Right on. I like the credit unions. I do. I would definitely encourage people to utilize credit unions. They give, still to this day, they give the better and lower interest as far as, your car loans and your home loans. So I definitely recommend them. I would definitely recommend them. So anybody who has the opportunity to join a credit union, please do. Please do. It's a good investment for yourself. But, I'm not going to go too much into detail. I know that's right. We definitely going to have this conversation on Wednesday and talk more about it. Again, man, I want you guys to tap in, come with all the questions. You know what I'm saying? Chat, my basement dealer and I know they're gonna come with some great questions. I know y'all are. It's just about the time. So y'all come on, tune in on Wednesday. We're gonna chop it up, talk about it, break bread together. Now somebody said hustling in college. Yeah, I did that. So in my time, you couldn't work and on scholarship, right? You could. It's nowhere like it is now. It's nowhere like it is now. So now they're able to make money on NIL and all that. Yeah, in my time, we wasn't doing that. I'm a little jealous of these cats now, boy. I wish I could have. If we did, you getting the NCAA sanctions. That's what it was. You get some trouble with the NCAA and the eligibility will be denied. But one thing we could do is in like them little satellite camps. So that's what I did. That's what I did. The little satellite camps, and the little satellite camps will allow you to make money. And it was within the frames of the NCAA, right? So what I started doing, I went beyond just the ones that was sanctioned by the institution I went to. I don't want to say that's about that time, but Murray State, let's say that. So we started having our own at the middle schools, the local middle schools, and we would go to the borderlines of Paris, Tennessee, Paducah, Kentucky, Paris, Tennessee, of course, Murray, Kentucky. And we would we would do the camps there, and they would pay us. Now, of course, it would be about 4 guys, and we'll charge them a flat fee. So between we come out with maybe $200. You know, nothing hard. 4-hour camp, nothing hard. They fed us. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to pay for no food. They fed us. They provided the facilities. We was able to use whatever facilities, equipment and things that we needed. Also, you know, like I said, the facility also gave us a place where, in case it was, you know, the weather was bad, a lot of them had nice sized gyms, and we were still able to do, you know, what we needed to do there. Of course, they couldn't wear their cleats in there, so they had to wear their tennis shoes, but that was an adjustment, you know, they had to make, and we all had to make, but it was cool. It was cool. So that was my way of hustling back in for that little money. Like I said, it was 4-hour camp. We end up coming out like $300 a piece. You know what I'm saying? After we split it amongst 4 of us. But normally, you know, we would do that and make that little extra money, even though we really didn't need it, man. Because, you know, look, I'm not going to go into detail on that. Not today. Not today. But nonetheless, those were good times. And yeah, was I hustling back then? Yeah. But I tell you, one of the things back then, man, is where I learned about home ownership. I was talking to a guy, he makes father, who was a home loan officer. And one of the things he taught me was, he said, Black people normally don't buy their first home until they was 40 years old. I mean, not 40, I'm 30 years old. Shout out to my boy Houston Nut. Oh man, that was my coach. That was my football coach at Murray State. Houston Nut, good guy. Good guy. But finances is very important. And again, like I was saying, home ownership was something we didn't really jump into until our late, between our 30 to, you know, mid 30s was when we usually end up buying our first home. And then by the time we end up buying our second home, you know, you about 45, you know what I'm saying? So now you're close to an age where you damn near ready to retire at 60, and still you're gonna have a house payment. 65, you still gonna have a house payment with a 30-year loan, maybe even a 20-year loan, right? Unless you was just paying, you know, double down on your pay and maybe cut it down to 15. Could, but you know, of course, it's gonna be a high house payment, but it could be done. You know, it could be done. But you know, when he first said it, I didn't believe it. I thought he just, you know, well, white dude don't know what you're talking about. So one of the things he challenged me on, he said, hey, look, go ask your parents. That's what I did. First one I asked was my uncle, because I was closer to him. He said, yeah. He said he's about 35 when he bought his first house. You know. And then I was able to ask my dad. Now, my dad was a little different because he was able to get his listen because he was in the military, right? So, you know, and of course, they had that, the VA loan. So it was a little different for him. So he said he got his first when he was about 27. So he was a little different. But majority of my family, yeah. They was in their 30s, 30 or mid 30s before they got their first home, their starter home. But what the guy was telling me, man, was that he said normally the white people, man, they usually get their first when they was 25. Now, of course, they got different reasons why that was the case. But he just mentioned that's the average age. He said normally they have 10 years of equity already built up And then they're moving on to the second by the time we get our first. So that was challenging for me. That really made me raise an eyebrow when he said it. I heard that. I was like, damn, I never thought about it like that. So I sit there and said, when the opportunity presents itself, I'm definitely going to do it. Because one of the things he told me, he said, man, look, you're paying for somebody else's house payment when you pay rent. Every time you pay rent, you're paying somebody else's house payment instead of your own. And that's what I didn't want to continue to do. It's paying somebody else's house payment and let them benefit off the back of me. So I had to make the proper adjustment, make the proper change, and do what I had to do. So yeah, I wasn't going to continue to do that. So, but again, we're going to talk more about this. We're going to talk more about this on Wednesday. And one of the things, like I said, financial literacy is the importance. Right on. Is the importance of home ownership. It's definitely going to be in the conversations because it's definitely important, because that's another opportunity. You pass it on generational wealth down to your kids. Because if your kids doesn't have to buy the house, imagine how much money they would be saving. And the only thing they would have to do is pay property taxes on their house. That's your first real big major investment you can make. That you can make money hand over fist if you decided to rent it out. Not sell, but rent it out. That's another form of income, another stream of income you have for yourself. So, guys, definitely think about this. Definitely look into it. It's something worth looking into. But again, I appreciate you guys for rocking with me tonight. I didn't realize that my sports show would end up turning to a genre of a little bit of everything, right? Talking about briefs, talk about finances, as well as my I don't know if y'all want to call it my vice or my fetish for Funko Pops and action figures, and also albums. So please don't forget for that album. See that album back there? That's that Kenny Loggins. Kenny Loggins says one of the songs is I guess Kenny Loggins is like what they consider the soundtrack king, right? And so one of the songs he sings, let me get the album real fast, I'm sorry. One of the songs that Kenny Loggins sings is on the Caddyshack soundtrack. So let me find that song for you guys. I forgot the name of it, but it's on there. Oh, I'm all right. So I know if you watch that movie, you hear him. I'm not gonna sing. Yeah, I don't want to hear this beautiful voice, and I gotta save his voice for Wednesday, right? I gotta save his voice for Wednesday. I don't want to sing the song, but it's called "I'm All Right." Don't you have to worry about me? Yes, that's how it goes. I'm all right. So that's one of the songs on that Caddyshack soundtrack. So that's the reason I displayed my Kenny Loggins greatest hits, and that's my record of the week. But guys, again, thanks for tuning in. Please tap in with me on please tap in with me on Wednesday, and we can talk more about this good stuff and have a good time with it. You know, educate one another. You know, because again, I know there's some people out in the audience who who's financially savvy, and I would definitely love for them if they would like to come up, because I would definitely drop the link. I would love for them to come up and share some ideas and some thoughts or some feedback on what y'all think about different ways of helping your fellow man in making money, investing money, and as well as ways of educating not only each other but our youth. So that show's gonna be on Wednesday. Again, I want you guys to come up and hang out with me, break bread with me. Again, have some good conversation, and we're gonna talk about the getting financially literate. That's what we're gonna talk about on Wednesday. So thank you again for tuning in. I appreciate that, guys, and thank you for rocking with me. Looking forward to seeing y'all Wednesday, and have a great rest of the week. Okay, bye bye.